The original Resident Evil is a game about terrifying monsters who lurk in the darkness. A game about using your noodle to solve difficult equations Einstein himself couldn't comprehend. And more importantly than anything, it's a game about friendship. It's a classic that I'm embarrassed to say I've only played once. So today, I'm changing that. I asked myself, what's the most brutal way I could try to beat this game? What would destroy my soul more than anything? And you know what? I came to a conclusion. What if I beat the game knife only? Wow, what an original idea that I haven't done for every game ever. But here's the catch. I'm not gonna be playing on easy baby poo-poo difficulty, where enemies take 1 or 2 hits to beat and my health is seemingly endless. No. I need more. I chose the Mega Ultra Nightmare difficulty. This difficulty has tons more enemies who are extremely aggressive and tanky. There are barely any ink ribbons to use, so saving my game is a big problem. My health is almost non-existent, and the item boxes around the map don't connect. So if I leave a key here, I can't just go and pick it up over there. Yeah, this isn't gonna be fun. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's get into the challenge already. It was a day like any other. My comrades and I were flying over a spooky forest out in the middle of nowhere to locate a team we'd lost a few hours earlier. And my god, there they were. We landed, investigated the scene, and immediately got attacked by some demon dogs. Ain't no way was I getting paid enough to fight those things, so I booked it. Jill joined me and we kept running, going as fast as we could until we conveniently came across a mansion that just so happened to be unlocked. We were finally safe, or we would have been if we hadn't heard something horrifying.
I'll go and check it out.
What? What do you mean?
Chris, take care.
Yes! Okay, come on.
You know, guys, before going any further, can I just say a mansion like this really reminds me of a place Dracula would hole up in, right? Huh? Like, I'm getting a lot of vampire vibes from this place, and, wait a minute. Oh my god, look! Today's sponsor, Watcher of Realms, a free-to-play fantasy RPG that will immerse you in a beautiful, yet brutal world where you must charge into battle for the ultimate goal of conquering the ancient gods, just came out with a Dracula crossover event. Play as Vlad Dracula, explore the event, and fight alongside him in brutal combat. And through tons of insane battle stages and unpredictable encounters, you'll be able to earn this lad completely free. The event's also got a bunch of other new heroes like Dr. Van Helsing, the damage-dealing marksman, Lady Mina, the woman I desperately wish existed, and of course, the Dark Prince himself, Count Dracula. You'll be able to get tons of free rewards through a variety of exciting Dracula events, so be sure not to miss it. With over 200 unique heroes to choose from, there's sure to be a perfect one for you. Like King Hearts of Fort Blacklast, Ajax the Dragon Rider, or my personal favorite, Morgan the Witch. Listen, it has nothing to do with her design, okay? I just like her abilities. And also Hatset has cool abilities too, I think. Now, if you're still not sold, listen to me. With an expansive world featuring immersive backstories for each and every hero, stunning CGs that will take your breath away, insanely intricate character designs, and incredible animations, this game will keep you absolutely hooked. And really, there's nothing to lose by trying a free game. I mean, it even has background auto fights, quick star-ups, and custom gear enhancement tools, so all new players can easily catch up to the old-timers on the scene. So what are you waiting for? Go to my event links in the description and pin comment down below and download Watcher of Realms for free on PC, Android, and iOS. You'll be able to test your Dracula personality like me. And if you're not a fan of clicking links, that's fine. Go ahead and scan this QR code right now to download the game for free. Thank you very much to Watcher of Realms for sponsoring this video. Alright, so heading back over to that creepy mansion, I wanted to prove to Jill that I was a dependable man. And, being one of only 2 men left alive, I knew this was my chance to shine. So I booked it over to the scary sound we'd all just heard, and that! But wait, maybe it could be knifed. I ran away, went and used up a precious ink ribbon, came back into the hallway, and it was quiet. A little too quiet. Where'd he go?
He's just standing there, menacingly!
I went to work, knifing him, dodging him, and getting grabbed by him. I didn't really know how to dodge the guy, so I just kept knifing, and surprise, surprise, I got grabbed again. And before I knew it, I was dead. Okay, so clearly I'd have to figure something out if I was ever gonna get out of the situation alive. I mean, if I couldn't even beat a zombie in a 1v1, how in the hell was I ever gonna beat any of the bosses? So I experimented, and I came to a conclusion. See, the real issue I was having was that I was too close to the guy. That gave him more than enough time to grab me and take a bite, and there wasn't a damn thing I could do about it. So I changed up my strategy. I went back in there, knifed the guy while making sure to keep my distance this time, and look, I beat him. But this posed a problem. You know what a crimson head is, right? Those demons from hell that sprint at you and claw you until you're dead. The guy would turn into that. So I loaded game like the little coward I am and just dodged him this time. Sorry, but ain't no way am I having that thing chase me. No, sir. I returned to the main lobby to tell Wesker and Jill about how awesome I was when I realized that they were both gone. They'd run off together and completely abandoned me. What a piece of garbage. I should have known Wesker would betray me like that. I swore right then and there I'd get my vengeance on that little snake for stealing away my precious Jill. Anyway, I took this time to scope out the mansion. There were tons of locked doors and scary sounds and... Oh, silly me. I forgot to lock the front door. Oh, help! Help! As I was searching the mansion, trying to figure out where to go next, I came across a dagger that was meant for self-defense, which would help me if I ever got grabbed. Now, you might be thinking, wow, Dante, that's pretty lucky. It's technically a knife, so shh. Let me stop you right there, okay?
I don't need it.
Okay, I'm not even gonna use the kerosene either. All right, I'm not that weak. All right, so I made my way to the backyard. Avoided some more zombos, saw that I needed an arrow piece to get into a tomb-like place, headed back inside and made my way into a side room, saw an herb lying on the ground for the taking, and I took it. I then headed upstairs, baited and dodged a fatso, which was something I needed to do with every single zombie in the game, by the way. Grabbed the arrow I needed, dodged a skinny boy, and got the hell out of there. I was able to use the tip of the arrow to open the tomb, and bam! 4 skull masks were all that stood between me and my... freedom, I guess. To be honest, I had no idea why I was doing all this. It was around here I finally came across my first item box. This was huge for 2 reasons. 1, because my inventory was so damn small that I could barely carry anything, so I was always on the verge of soft-locking myself. And 2, because I needed a home base, somewhere to store all the herbs I was getting for the boss fights I'd be faced with in the future. And look, a free first aid spray. Oh, hell yeah. Let's just say, I was a real happy boy. I did some more searching around the mansion, got bit by some more zombies, got ravaged by a feral dog, found a dog whistle, brought it over to the balcony where it would apparently summon a hellhound, and before I knew it, I was in the midst of my first boss fight. And what a terrible start. I got my revenge and stabbed the little brat. Took some more of a beating because the rabies-infested psycho just didn't know when to stop, and I kept going. Stabbing, throwing, chasing, then running. Wait, what? Oh, hell no. I panicked and ran back to the fresh herb pile and sucked them down my gullet, then continued stabbing at the glowing mutt. All I needed was whatever it was he had, so I made him my priority. One more throw, one more stab, and the psycho was dead. I snagged his collar and got the hell out of there. Opening the lad's collar, I was now in possession of a magical key that opened about half the mansion's doors, and I put that bad boy to use like my life depended on it. It was during this little foray that I came across one of my dead teammates, and it hit me so hard, I cried for about 3 seconds. Then I got over it, because honestly, I didn't even know who he was. He must have realized I didn't mourn him hard enough though, because the guy literally rose from the dead and chased after me. He wanted to nibble on my firm cheeks so bad, but my jukes were just too damn good, so thankfully, I ended up escaping with my life. Moving into the next room, I came across a bunch of spooky vines, and upon seeing them, a light bulb went off in my head. See, just a few minutes earlier, I'd come across a bag of poison. Of course, being the petty guy I am, I originally planned to save that for Wesker so I could poison his drink when he wasn't looking, but I couldn't pass up those herbs. I mean, just look at how many of them there are. My only choice was to poison the plant's drinking water. And it was a good thing I did, because look, it was one of the masks I was looking for. 1 down, 3 to go. As I continued making my way through those dark hallways, I came across a girl, and oh my god.
I just think you're a really cute girl with a fun personality. I want to take you out somewhere nice. A nice dinner and some pleasant conversation.
Out with the old, in with the new. She told me her name was Rebecca, and she was with some random guy and refused to leave his side under any circumstances. Oh, come on, man. Why does this always happen to me? Well, it's a good thing I still have some of that poison I used earlier, huh? Now, apparently the guy needed some serum that was all the way on the other side of the mansion, and if he didn't get it soon, he'd die. So, being the good guy I am, I volunteered to go get it. I blew some poison in his face when Rebecca wasn't looking, quickly left the room, and I ran and ran and ran until finally I had the serum. I ran some more and some more and more, and 7 hours later I was finally back. Wait a minute, where was that little cutie? Oh, I mean, it's probably a good thing she abandoned him, to be honest, because I didn't feel like pretending to mourn the guy's death in front of her. I continued piecing together the puzzle of the mansion, finding some more first aid sprays, trying to stab a crow who was laughing at me, opening a secret doorway that turned out to be an awesome shortcut, and look, another mask. I then found a jewelry box in a night room and got yet another mask, and after having nothing better to do, I decided to just chill out and play some piano. Oh! It was fate then. We were meant to be together. We just had to be. Otherwise, how could this chance meeting be explained? Huh? Well, Rebecca told me that my piano playing was so bad, she literally risked her life to come tell me to stop. It was at that point Rebecca told me she wanted to play some piano herself, and she started going crazy, man. And because I was way too embarrassed to just stand there and be outclassed, I left. But because I'm an insecure weirdo, I went right back inside. And look, as Rebecca was going ham on the piano, a secret door opened up behind her. It was a Christmas miracle. I thanked her for her contribution to my mission, tried to impress her with my knife skills, and snagged the gold emblem which unlocked the clock, which gave me a key, which opened the door to the attic. Ah, well, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. It was a big ol' snake, and he was looking for a big ol' snack. I got to stabbing right away, and sadly, I got my ass handed to me. But it was a pretty simple fight overall. All I had to do was stab the guy in the butt. Look at him slither away like a little coward. Pathetic. And oh, is that the final mask? Nice! It was finally time to see what was in that ominous coffin. Heading back down into the tomb in the backyard, I placed all 4 masks on their respective slots. I was a little nervous to see what could possibly be in the coffin, and I should have been, because there was a literal demon in there. Alright, so this guy was tough. Not only was he fast and violent as hell, his attacks were also constant. The guy never let up. He slapped me and scratched me and bit me. It was never ending, and there wasn't a damn thing I could do about it. Ultimately, it looked like it was gonna come down to being a war of attrition. But I mean, it wasn't like I had that many heals to coast on. Yeah, I had a few, but because I didn't know what was coming up next, I didn't want to just stupidly use up everything I'd saved up since the beginning. So I set a limit. 2 full heals, no exceptions. Now, I'm not gonna lie, not being able to dodge the guy absolutely sucked. I just had to sit there like a good little boy and take my punishment whether I wanted to or not. I got some swings in, sure, but my health was being sucked out of me at a concerning rate. 2 tries in, and I died yet again. On my 3rd attempt, I tried something different. Doing some research, I came across some critical information. Apparently, aiming the knife high enough counted as a headshot, which did crazy damage. So I used this newfound knowledge to my benefit and always tried to give the guy a bad haircut. And he died in 8 hits. Wait. Whoa. That was it? Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. Especially considering I only had to use those 2 full heals I brought with me. Whoa! In the coffin was a hexagonal piece that fit perfectly into this hole, and what lay before me was 2 paths. Using my expert intuition, I picked this one. Actually, my intuition is now telling me to go to this one. The residence. A place of comfort. A place that feels like home. A place with bees that tried desperately to swarm me, spiders that tried to suck me dry, and a tentacle that tried to choke me. I mean, honestly, that last one wasn't so bad. I kind of liked it. But stop! Dante, get your head out of the gutter, man. Focus on the mission at hand. Wait, what's that? Oh my... No, stop. It's not worth it. Stop it. I went to the next room to see what I could, oh my god. Who put this here? Stop. I need to get out of here. I took my frustrations out on the 2 creepy crawlies, and they were actually super easy. I just stayed close to their butts and swung when I was safe, kind of like what I did with the snake. I then dodged a slow boy, found a secret ladder leading down into an underground laboratory, and ended up getting chased by sharks. Yeah, I'm not making this up. One of them even took a good chunk out of me. And as if that wasn't bad enough, a big mama shark saw me in a pressurized room and tried to hurl herself at me. Thankfully, I was quick enough to stop the big mama from drowning me horribly, but just barely. And with that, I drained to the water. Aww, poor widow sharky warky can't defend itself, huh? Now, with the big mama shark, I did try to see if I could use my knife on her instead of frying her with electricity, but jumping into the water was an instant death, and stabbing her beforehand didn't do anything, so unfortunately, I was stuck to using the old zapper. I grabbed the key for a room upstairs, did a puzzle to open the way to another secret room, and upon setting foot in there, I was immediately attacked. Oh no, the tentacle monster? Lord help me. Rebecca heard my screams of pleasure, agony, and quickly made her way over to me. She saw what was happening and asked why I had a big smile on my face, but I told her to forget about me, to worry about just saving herself. Apparently, Rebecca didn't like how handsy the tentacle monster was being with me because she promised to save me. She booked it to the homemade lab, mixed some dangerous chemicals together, used those dangerous chemicals on the roots in the basement, and voila, I was now free.
No! No! What have you done? Why did you do that?
I saved you! You were trapped in there! I waited, but you wouldn't come out! So I pulled you out!
Alright, so fighting the tentacle monster was a pain and a half. See, the tentacles were high up, which made attacking the things damn near impossible, and pairing that with its juices leaking everywhere and... oh god. Who over at Capcom designed this thing, huh? It's all just a bunch of gooners over there, isn't it? Disgusting. Anyway, I died here a lot. Trying to get a good attack going was just so difficult. I did figure out that standing on these stairs allowed me to take out 2 tentacles for free, and then standing over here while taking cover behind the stairs let me take out another one, but there was still 2 left. So at this point, it was a game of precise angles and godlike dodges. I slapped a tentacle, I got slapped by a tentacle, and a good 10 minutes of attempts later, the tentacles were no more.
Chris, you're okay.
You ruined everything. Of course, I wanted to stay mad at her for destroying my personal paradise, but unfortunately, I'm completely powerless in the presence of cute tomboys. I don't know why God would do that, but it's just the way I am, okay? I forgave her immediately.
I could pretty much treat any wound. Want me to treat your wounds?
It was time to return to the mansion, baby. I ran back with a new key ready to be used, heard a horrifying screech, came across some reptilian demons, and just barely escaped with my life. When I made it back to the safe room, I questioned all of my life choices. Why was I even here? What was I thinking? Was it all worth it?
Chris, you're okay.
Yep. When it comes to the hunters, I just did my best to avoid them. Getting out of my safe room, I was always able to slip by this guy as long as his back was turned, and this other guy was easily crept up on until I was forced to sprint to get away from him. Traversing the mansion was definitely possible since these guys weren't in every room, and though it was extremely difficult, I was able to dodge them when I had to, as long as I didn't have to fight one. Oh no. I booked it upstairs, charged into one of the many rooms, and there was the love of my life, getting attacked by one of those filthy reptiles. I got to work, poking that pathetic creature in the eyes with my blade over and over again, and although he was literally cheating with the way he'd stunlock me constantly, I was able to squeak out a win while only using 1 heal. Thank God. I gave Rebecca a thumbs up, used my awesome catchphrase,
I think we got to the root of that problem.
and sprinted out of there before she could say a word. I went around the mansion collecting more puzzle pieces. I beat the snake in a 1v1 by using the stick to his butt strat, finally opened the cage doors with the creepy moaning on the other side of them, and just look who I came across. It was that traitor Wesker. Before I could even ask him where Jill was, he ordered me around, saying we had a fight on our hands. And we actually did. It was Lisa Trevor, the freak who loved wearing people's faces as a mask. I quickly got to work, pushing the big stones over the cliff while Wesker pumped that demon full of lead. And when I finished knocking over the final stone, Lisa just randomly lunged into the depths of hell. And unfortunately, Wesker was nowhere to be found after all that. Are you kidding me? Heading further into the crypt, I took an elevator up to the ground floor, put 2 pieces of stone into a fountain, and opened a way into a secret lab, which was filled with tight spaces. Of course, by this point, I was a master at baiting and dodging zombies, so that wasn't really a problem. But there were some that I had no choice but to take out, like this naked boy right here. Why, you ask? Well, because I had to transfer this unstable nitro compound into a slot in the boiler room, and if I ran or got attacked while carrying it, I'd literally explode like a character from SpongeBob. I also had to take out this buggy boy who seemed terrifying at first, but the guy died without laying a scratch on me. I put the nitro in place, activated the facility, and rode the elevator up to the top floor, and look! It was Rebecca, my little angel. Another thumbs up and we were good to go. And wait a minute, is that Wesker? I gave Wesker a piece of my mind, telling him that what he just did was wrong. Yet, before I could give him a knuckle sandwich, a tyrant broke free from a test tube and annihilated him for me. I was about to thank the guy until I realized I was next. It was go time. If I was ever gonna get out of this place alive, I'd have to fight for it. So I threw myself at the guy, always aiming my blade at his butt cheeks, trying my best to slip it in between so that I could give him the worst colonoscopy of his life. But my attacks barely even seemed to faze him. Still, I kept going, slapping those cheeks red, sticking to those toasty buns as much as I could when, out of nowhere, the monster collapsed. Dead. What? That was it? Brother, I was just getting started. There was no way. Heading back over to Rebecca's fresh corpse, I almost broke down. I loved her more than anything in the world. And now she was alive? Oh, hell yeah. It was the bulletproof vest. Thumbs up, Rebecca. We got out of there. Rebecca told me she was gonna figure out how to blow the mansion sky high. We split up, and I randomly found Jill in one of the jail cells. She told me that Wesker had trapped her there and that she knew she shouldn't have trusted him. I slapped her across the face for being so stupid, and we made for the exit. We all ended up rendezvousing at the helipad on the roof, but before we could escape, the tyrant hopped out of a hole in the ground and slapped Jill silly. Are you kidding me? You spend the whole adventure in a cell and get knocked out during your very first fight. Why are you so goddamn useless? It looked like it was up to Rebecca and I. And by that, I mean just Rebecca, because every single bone in my body was now shattered. But wait, I couldn't let Rebecca take the guy all by herself. So I ran up to the guy and I started poking his buns aggressively. And actually, he barely even put up a fight. He'd swing at me, sure, but as long as I gave him enough space, he'd miss, which would give me an opening to get 2 free hits in. With Rebecca shooting the guy from the side and being perfect bait, we ended up bullying that guy until God himself dropped me a rocket launcher, and sadly, I had no other choice but to use it. So, was I able to beat Resident Evil 1 knife only? If you go by the Steam achievements, yeah, I did. But I guess it depends on whether you think the big shark and tyrant fights counted as fails. I'm leaning towards no because of the achievement, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Watcher of Realms using my links and QR codes. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell, otherwise you pretty well aren't subscribed to me. And I'll see you thick boys in my next video.